Keep Canelo's name out of your fucking mouth, Terence Crawford. There's levels to this, and his levels above you. Congratulations to Crawford. Canelo is still the best. I don't give a fuck what any of you guys say. I'm not going anywhere. Canelo's still the face of boxing. Crawford winning don't mean shit, because he's still not going to be the face of boxing.
Listen, bro. Do y'all these people out? Hey, they quiet. They quiet. Look at this shit. Look at this. Say what?
You guys lost.
Who lost?
Y'all.
Oh, Bud lost? Okay, you said something. Hey, they hoping that he lost. This shit is quiet. Look at this shit, y'all. Did y'all see how packed it was and how crunk it was when they was announcing this shit? These people so goddamn quiet. Masterclass by Bud. I told y'all, Brian Norman Sr. told y'all that weight don't matter. The weight don't matter.
All stayed up just to see him goddamn lose.
The weight don't matter. I keep telling y'all. It only matters to soft ass pussies. It don't matter.
James Turner for the untouchable true school sports. Let's go, baby. Bow!
Be careful what you wish for because it can become a reality.
Yeah. The Untouchable True School Sports Empire proudly presents something the boxing game's been missing. Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. All right, so happy Monday to everybody out there. Thank you guys once again for tuning in. You know, we got a long week of training camp here in the Bay Area with the future face of Japanese boxing, Yugo Osaki, so I'm excited about that. But listen, we are in fact in the aftermath of Terence Crawford cementing his greatness even further in the sport, becoming a 5-division champion and 3-time undisputed and all that good stuff, all that blase. He's the toast of the town right now. We will continue to talk about Terence Crawford, but I want to talk about Canelo because you guys know, for those of you who've been watching me over the years, you know that I have a long history when it comes to Canelo. I'm still known by many as an internationally known Canelo hater, right? Now, I'm not a Canelo hater anymore. I've matured past that, but I'm going to have to recite some old talking points here and just be honest with you guys about objectively what is the truth in the aftermath of this fight. Now, I will raise my hand. I got no problem admitting when I'm wrong. It's not a big deal. There's bigger things in life than getting a boxing prediction right or getting a boxing prediction wrong. I don't really care if I get it right or wrong. I just have fun talking about boxing. But as far as this fight, I picked Canelo, and I was wrong. But Canelo, a lot of things that you say about Canelo in 2021, 2022 were proven very true in this fight. Like, he's never been a guy that can win a fight if he's not in control from the very, very beginning. It's never been his MO. He needs to be in control the whole way through, right? I don't think I never thought at no point in time did I ever think Canelo Alvarez was even within shouting distance of being the greatest Mexican fighter of all time. I never thought that. That was proven further, and I say that to say this because this is the main idea of this video. The main idea of this video is that Canelo Alvarez, listen, I don't care how much money he made. That's great. I know he had a great career, all that stuff. But the reality is that his legacy has taken a big hit in terms of where he stands in the path of not just great fighters in boxing history, but great fighters in Mexican boxing history, right? Because Canelo Alvarez, from his side of things, we know from the Terence Crawford side of things why this fight happened. We know it happened because it was a chance for Terence Crawford to up his legacy and his status in the sport even more. So he took it. Crawford got the unique scenario of being able to have his cake and eat it too. Getting the legacy at the highest level and the money at the highest level. Many fighters don't get that opportunity. He took it with two hands and he seized the moment when the moment came. But for Canelo, the reason this fight happened for him is because he didn't want to fight David Benavidez. We know this. He ducked David Benavidez for years upon years upon years upon years. He even fled to a whole other country to not fight David Benavidez, went to Saudi Arabia, right? And he saw Terence Crawford, although he knew Terence Crawford was a great fighter, he saw him as an easy come up, an easy lick, an easy, name to get on his resume because of the fact that he was coming up from a lighter weight division, and that it was a way that it was a fight that was going to allow Canelo to up his status in the sport by beating a guy who had a big status on pound list in Crawford, right? So for him to not just lose the fight, but I'm talking about you got outclassed. Like, that's the thing with Canelo. When Canelo loses fights, he doesn't get knocked out because he has a granted chin. The guy gets outclassed. He got outclassed against Floyd. He got outclassed against Bivol. He got outclassed against Terence Crawford. He's just been getting outclassed in all his losses, right? So with that being said, you know, there's no way in hell, especially after this fight, there's no way in hell you're going to sit here and tell me that he's anywhere close to Salvador Sanchez. He was, in my opinion, he was never, ever close to Salvador Sanchez. I've been very consistent about that over the years. Go check my video archives if you don't believe me. I don't think he was close to Ricardo Lopez in terms of skill. Of course, he beat some better fighters because there wasn't the depth of competition at 105. But Ricardo Lopez is a better fighter than Canelo. I'm sorry. You watch the tape. He's a better fighter than Canelo. He never lost a fight, so you can't say Canelo's better than him. And then there's, you can argue other guys, but like he is not, in my opinion, he's not a top 3 Mexican fighter of all time, and he never has been. All right, so if anybody's legacy took a hit, it's Canelo's fight. And what have we learned here? We learned that in life, it pays to do the right thing because he's had the opportunity for years to fight David Benavidez, and although people will say Benavidez isn't a real Mexican, so to speak, he's still the Mexican monster, right? He had a chance to like uplift Mexican boxing to a new level, like the same way Chavez did when he fought, De La Hoya back in the day. He had his Chavez De La Hoya fight with Benavidez, right there. It was there for years. He didn't want to pass the baton. His own ego and greed got in the way, and as a byproduct of that, he got exposed by a welterweight. And yes, I'm going to say exposed because he lost in this fight the same way he's lost against Bivol and Floyd. He lost because, he doesn't have... I think he's got a good jab. I think his jab is underrated when he decides to use it. But over the years, he has not used his jab. He's stopped throwing combinations. He just became a guy that loads on big shots and marches forward. Like it's crazy because Canelo, earlier in his career, he wasn't he didn't fit, in my opinion, I don't think he fit the archetype of a flat-footed, stereotypical Mexican fighter. He was slick, he threw combinations, he did these kind of things, but then as time went on, he fell in love with loading up and going to the body and these kind of things and walking people down, and it's like it's taken away from what got him to the dance in the first place. You understand? So yeah, he didn't do the right thing. So as a byproduct of that, I think there's no way you could ever say he's even within shouting distance of being the greatest Mexican fighter of all time. And listen, I know there will be people in the comments who probably say, well, BT, he made a lot of money, legacy don't pay bills, this, that, and the third. Well, listen, for the legacy don't pay bills crowd, if legacy don't pay bills, then you shouldn't give a fuck about what I'm saying in terms of Canelo's legacy. So stay over there on that side. We talking about legacy here. We talking about boxing. We talking about stuff that legends are made of. And I'm not saying he's not a fantastic fighter because Canelo Alvarez absolutely is a fantastic fighter. And in some respects, right, while I'm sitting here and I'm talking about his limitations, let me also tip my cap to him. We only know his limitations because he was willing to test those limitations against Mayweather, Bivol, and a guy like Terence Crawford. And we found out his level. And there's no problem with that. There's no problem in finding out your level. I'm not downing Canelo for losing to great fighters. He fought great fighters. And he beat some good fighters along the way, and some very good fighters along the way. But as we've seen many times in the history of boxing, being the face of boxing does not always equate to being the best fighter in boxing. And while Canelo Alvarez, he's been an ambassador for boxing, and he's kept the sport in North America alive as its #1 draw and ticket seller, at no point in time did I ever think he was the best fighter in the world. And it's crazy because if I really thought those things, then I should have picked Terence Crawford, but I didn't. So it is what it is. I'm very impressed with Terence Crawford. I'm happy for Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford, I'm honestly like happy to say that I'm lucky to have witnessed the Terence Crawford era. I've been to a couple of Terence Crawford fights live, so it's been a pleasure watching his career. And you know what? It's also been a pleasure to watch Canelo's career. Even though he's not the greatest Mexican fighter, and he's not better than Salvador Sanchez, and he's not better than Eric Morales, and he's not better than Ricardo Lopez and guys like that. He's still got a case for being in the Mount Rushmore possibly for the Mexican boxing, because he is the first Mexican undisputed champion of all time. You know, he is a 4-division champion from 154 all the way to light heavyweight. So that's a great career, and that's the kind of career that's going to get him into Canastota one day. But yeah, his legacy's taking a hit. There's just no way around it. You can't sit here and say that Canelo Alvarez made the right move in fighting Terence Crawford, because he should have fought David Benavidez. And as a byproduct of not fighting David Benavidez, you know, people are gonna have more reasons to not rank him as highly as they were previously. So, you know, it is what it is. It's the decision he made. I'm sure he's okay with the decision he made. He tried to, you know, fight the biggest name out there in Crawford. I wouldn't say he dared to be great, because again, you fought. I'm not saying anything that Canelo hasn't said in interviews himself. He said that, you know, he fought him because pretty much that it's his weight division and Crawford's coming up, you know. So I think Canelo knows that, you know, Benavidez, the younger, stronger, volume puncher, would have beat him, and that's why he chose not to fight him. Maybe they'll still fight. Who knows? You know, Canelo hasn't announced retirement yet, but yeah, one thing's for sure and two things for certain. His legacy in terms of where he ranks among the greatest fighters of all time has taken a massive, massive hit. But he's still a fantastic fighter, and he still had a great career, and he's still been a good for the business of boxing, you know, all these years. So, you know, shout out to him, shout out to Terence Crawford. You know, I was shitting on this fight because I just didn't like it. I didn't like the idea of Canelo potentially beating Crawford and getting credit for it. That really pissed me off coming into the fight. So I don't think I really had the right attitude covering the fight going into it. But this fight was big, man. This fight was huge. I mean, I saw people that I know that don't even watch boxing posting about this fight on Instagram. Just people I know my actual life. You know, I saw bad bitches I know that don't know shit about boxing posting about this fight. So this fight moved the needle. And especially here in America, where it's hard to get the attention of people, you know, this fight moved the needle. So you know what? I'm a fair guy. You know, shout out to Turkey and Dana White and all the fine folks there. They promoted this fight very, very well, and it did a very, very good job. And we'll see what the future holds. I think the boxing industry is going to change a lot now in the aftermath of this fight with TKO boxing coming into the sport. But as far as September the 13th at the Allegiant Stadium is concerned, yo, credit to the whole promotional team. You know, TKO, they did a good job, and I got no problem saying that. So, yeah, what do you guys think? Has Canelo Alvarez's legacy taken a hit? And, you know, what do you make of Terence Crawford going up from basically 147, or you could say 54, either way, and just giving him a boxing lesson? Leave your comments down below. Make sure you guys take the time to subscribe. And like I say in every single one of these videos, you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dang It. So until next time, take care, guys. Thank you for watching another video on the untouchable True School Sports Empire. For more great boxing content just like this, make sure you guys stay tuned and subscribe. You won't be disappointed.